Namaste, dear friends. We are here again with our ninth video in the series Patanjali Yogasutra Simplified for Common People. In today's video, we are going to talk about Vairagya. We are going to talk about the 12th Sutra, Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tannirodha. That means the chittavrittis, the thought waves, can be arrested by means of practice and dispassion. Vairagya is dispassion. What is Vairagya? We'll see what, why, and how of Vairagya, how it is relevant, and how it can be inculcated. So, Vairagya is translated variously as renunciation, dispassion, detachment, non attachment, all convey the same sense. There's fine nuances associated with the word. Vairagya comes from virag. V in Sanskrit is without, and rag is love or liking for a thing, the attachment born of love. So, Vairagya is non attachment. And why do we then call it as detachment and renunciation? Because it so happens that we are born, we are brought up, and we are brought up with our various desires, we develop over the years. So those desires, the ragas, are already there in our mind. So Vairagya consists in first detaching them, and it also consists of not allowing new attachments to arise. So that's how Vairagya is: detachment, non-attachment, renunciation, dispassion. Now, how to go about it? Understanding a very simple definition given by Adi Shankaracharya in his treatise Tattva Bodha is Iha Svarga Bhogeshu Ichharahityam. He starts with Viraga ka. What is Vairagya? Iha Svarga Bhogeshu Ichharahityam. Desirelessness for fruits here as well as in heaven. He completely cuts out desires. No desires in this world as well as in the heaven. That's true Vairagya. So how is Vairagya relevant? Okay, before that I must clarify one point. Vairagya is not about just desire for pleasures, love for pleasures. It is also about aversion to pain, dislike. Whereas likes and dislikes are two sides of Vairagya, and both operate against the ability to concentrate. And that's why Vairagya consists in avoiding likes and dislikes, freedom from both, neutrality. How is Vairagya relevant? Let's see a practical situation. You are sitting in concentration. You are having an idol of Lord Rama as a support for your concentration. You're trying to concentrate on the idol of the Rama. And the idol of the Rama, when you concentrate in the image which is in front of your eyes, you notice the shape, the size. It could be something else. You notice the crown on the head. You notice the necklace around the neck. And here, suddenly your mind jumps with the word necklace, and it says, oh, necklace, I have to gift a necklace to my wife on the coming birthday. Oh, but the gold prices should reduce. They should not be high, otherwise I'll end up spending unnecessarily lot of money. See how your mind has got diverted and your concentration is disturbed. Now let us analyze what has happened. Your mind has got diverted with the word necklace. with the idea of necklace giving to your wife. This has happened because of your attachment to your wife, love for your wife, love for the beauty of the necklace, and then you talk of money, you start planning, and then you have the love of money speaks that, oh, but I will end up spending unnecessary money. All these attachments, all these topics are latent in your mind. They are waiting to crop up. They need some small provocation and they will come up and disturb your mind. These attachments, these are latent memories. They are called vasanas in yogic language. So these vasanas also quite disturbing, and therefore detachment is necessary. This is where Vairagya comes in the picture. This is the practical situation. Now let us see exactly how this love for pleasure and aversion for dislike operates. What happens is, these are attachments, they are called asaktis in Sanskrit. These asaktis, they engage your mind in imagining pleasure out of them, in thinking about ways to acquire them, or having acquired, thinking in how not to lose them. These are the ways in which asakti operates and creates lot of chitta vrittis in the mind. Our aim is chitta vritti nirodha, and asakti is operating exactly opposite of that. Practically, it is a chain. Because of attachment, there is a desire to obtain the pleasure. The desire gives rise to the effort, action. And after the action, you obtain the fruit, your mind goes to the next desire, next pleasure. Having obtained it, it also starts thinking how not to lose it. So, attachment giving rise to desire, desire giving rise to effort, effort resulting in obtaining of the fruit, and then going over to the next desire. This is the chain. And this chain continuously generates chitta vrittis, keeps your mind engaged, and they cause a disturbance in our practice of concentration. So, how does Vairagya help here? We saw in the definition, Vairagya is detachment, dispassion. If you remove these attachments, the source itself is removed. And therefore, the source of new chitta vrittis is removed, and therefore it is helpful, it is conducive in the concentration. So this is how Vairagya is helpful. But it's not so easy. What is said by Arjuna to Krishna, it is in the 6th canto, that Krishna, this mind is so fickle, so mercurial. It is like air. I cannot grasp it. I cannot hold it. And Krishna tells Arjuna, Asamshayam mahabahu mano durnigrahaschalam. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyana chakruryatam. That Arjuna, doubtlessly, this fickle mind is difficult to grasp and hold. But with practice, abhyasa, and vairagya, dispassion, it is possible to hold it steadfast and stabilize. So, in Gita also, the advice is same, abhyasa and vairagya, to help concentrate the mind and remove the chitta vrittis. How to inculcate vairagya? So let's go into that. We have seen the relevance, how vairagya is important. Now let's see how to inculcate that. Vairagya consists in removing the attachments. So you must first identify what are your strongest desires where you repeatedly engage in some effort. The desire can be money, desire can be fame. Let's take a very simple example, desire for food. One likes food, so there is attachment to the food. Now, how to inculcate Vairagya? How to implement the detachment of this? So, one has to avoid getting into the circumstances which makes one lose control over the mind. What are they? For example, repeatedly approaching or confronting the temptations in respect of food. Going to the restaurants, watching recipe channels. These are the tempting situations where your attachment to the food will get strengthened. The second way in which to achieve Vairagya in a way is you must question yourself about the essentiality. So, is this essential or is this something non essential but being given importance? For example, food. Food is meant for giving energy to the body. That's the basic purpose. The basic purpose is not to give you enjoyment. That is something which you have attached. So if you ask such a question about the essentiality and then take action according to the essentiality, it will help you in removing the attachment. So think and detach. The third is divert your mind. Because the mind will keep on thinking. It is not just external temptations, the mind itself will also generate thoughts. So divert the mind to different and better occupations. For example, try and keep your mind engaged in, say, reading, studying some topics, bhakti, or soothing music. All these will divert your mind and keep it engaged, and they will promote sattva guna. Pursuit of knowledge is something which promotes sattva guna, whereas following the desires, taking actions, they are all indicative of rajoguna. So in this world when we live, there is a preponderance of rajoguna, but we have to slowly travel to sattva guna preponderance, which will ultimately lead you to concentration, meditation, and samadhi. So divert your mind. These are the three ways by which you practice to detach and get into Vairagya. One must remember, najatu kamah kamanam upabhogyena shamyate. That's then the Manusmriti, which says that by fulfilling the desires, your desires are not going to pacify, not going to be appeased, because this acts like a fuel in the fire and the desires increase. The more you satisfy, the more they increase. So if one remembers that, then one will have the right approach for practicing Vairagya. If we see the summary, this 12th sutra, Abhyasa is all about what to do, what action to be taken, how to practice. And Vairagya is more of a prevention. It tells you what not to do. That, in short, is the summary of this 12th sutra. I hope you have liked this. We will meet the next time.